Well, morning everyone. Hope everyone's having a good time. Welcome, that MS Gamer. It's always nice to have you around. Cellist Mike and I are going to be doing some more work on the Enterprise D. So, I'm going to switch over to the game for now, so you can see that while I finish grabbing a couple of items that I need. There we go. Just real quick to show you. Where we are. There she is. There's Cellist Mike. He is currently AFK. Speaking of him, let me head back into our channel. So when he comes back, he can speak. So yeah. Yes, this is the front, and there's something on fire down there. That's funny. But yeah, we're making our progress, making some good progress on that front there. So let me bring up our picture so you can see what it is we are working on. There you go. That's the ship. And I'm going to fade this music out here and add some more to the queue, because currently there's not a lot of music. Queue all. And now let's bring up our ellipse builder. That's currently what I'm after right now. It's just the ellipse builder, so that I have it. Where'd you go? Hope you're having a good morning today, MS Gamer. I wasn't planning on streaming this morning, but I have a forced gap in my morning, so I decided I'd come on here and do this. Alright, so we are on which I really need to write these notes down when I do this. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 65. So 131 on the depth. And then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 171. It's pretty much always about 40. I should just keep that in mind. There we go. Zoom to the 2D. 2D or not 2D? So I can see the numbers. Minecraft type. Yes, yes. Minecraft type. Alright, so let's take the ship away and get to building. Oh, and bring the music back because it's all on silent. There we go. Get the plots modeler where I can see it, not on the entire screen. It's not what I asked for. And as always, thanks to my auto hosts, Ion B, JPZ, Pixel Trucks also, but they're going to be streaming soon, I think. Yep. So later this evening, Zoe and I are having a father-daughter date where we're going to work on either expanding her zoo or starting her treehouse. I think she'll be excited about that. Clearly, I missed on my double jump there. And yep. Oh, poop. Now my thing is hiding again. There we go. So it's 10 on the first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, Miss Gamer, did you catch any of Fluffy on Sunday with his speed run? Whoa. You could, you know, I do have a a viewer. You could have provided a little heads up. That's Jealous Mike there.
Sorry.
Mostly, yeah. So, MS Gamer, did you catch any of Fluffy's Sunday speed run of, I think it was Rise of the Tomb Raider? I think I saw him beat his... Okay, yeah, I think I saw him beat his personal best by 5 minutes. Speaking of, let's give him a shout out there. He is very technologically distinctive, and he will provide a lot of entertainment into your hive life. So, Cellist Mike, how are you doing? I'm going to take that to mean you have food in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oatmeal? Cereal. Which is why you're so quiet, because you are polite. And it is much appreciated. 3, 2, 3, 3. 4 twos. But yes,
On some baked nuts.
yeah, Chalice Mike, if you haven't given InstaFluff a follow, I highly recommend it. Guy's thoroughly entertaining. Yeah, he beat his personal best on that one by several minutes. He brought grenades to that final boss, the part 1 of the final boss fight, so he got through it super quick. He was shocked how fast he got through it. So 1 and then 2 twos and then 1 2.
A 1 and a 2 2.
A 1 and a 2 2. 2 2 2. Oh, 2 1.
Anakin and ballet. The 1 and the 2 2.
Sure. 1 2 2 1 2. 3 1s and a 2. 3 1 2 3 1 2. And now we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 ones. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So Cellist Mike, I started dreaming that story idea I was telling you about the other day. You know, that's always a good sign, right?
It is.
I'm thinking. Yeah,
Processing it.
I'm thinking that may be my NaNoWriMo for this thing. I think I may spend this month continuing work on Shatter, my 3rd novel in the Rise series, and then do all my planning for NaNoWriMo, and then have NaNoWriMo month be my the new novel.
Your end of operations, work, whatever, is done for fall. It's just
I have to edit it. That's the other thing. I have to split my writing time with editing. Yes, Sunrise.
You haven't given feedback yet for the editing, have you?
No, we haven't got to that point. Basically, I said I want to do my edit, and then we would put it into their queue. But the thing is, he wants to try approaching Audible about doing a 1 2 3 4 5 5 twos. He wants to talk to Audible about doing an Audible original with the digital release thing to start. And while that's interesting to me, that's not. They would still do it. That's not the issue. My issue is that I don't think that people are going to be willing, once they've got it on Audible, to go back and do a pre-order thing for the physical copy. They're like, I already have it on Audible. What's this? I think I'm gonna have a harder time. So he's gonna have to address that issue with me.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey Dimmer, how are you? We're playing some Minecraft. Everybody say hi to Dimmer from Germany.
Hi, Dimmer.
Hi Dimmer. He's currently in Germany. Yeah, you're right, MS Gamer. You never know. People may, like it enough that when I come back and say, "All right, guys, you've enjoyed it in Audible. Now it's if you want it in physical copy, you need to pre-order." But see, the thing is, what I think would be if we might end up having to do to help them with that decision is discount the people who bought it on Audible, who we can work with Audible to verify did, so they're not paying $20 for the Audible copy and then $20 for a pre-order copy of the physical book. Maybe, I don't know. It just depends. I think I may sit on the whole Audible side of it and do it while they work out their negotiations about doing it directly to Audible, and then continue with my pre-order thing so I can get them motivated to do the physical copy.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Because people are always excited about having it on Audible, but a lot of them also want to have a physical copy that they can hold.
I consume generally now, primarily through audiobook. However, when I like a book enough, I buy the physical copy.
Well, yeah, and I know that Dimmer there likes to collect first edition signed copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's how
I'm old school in that respect. I really like books. I mean, I can appreciate in this modern day and age the benefit of audibles and e-readers, but
There is still something, you're right.
It's something tangible that just can't be replaced, and I guess it's something as technologically advanced as I would like to think that I am. This is one thing I'm just not.
You are not alone in that. And that MS Gamer just wrote that I love the physical on my games, my books, and all, but I know digital is easy, which is why he loves Steam. I couldn't agree with you more. I love Steam. It makes getting video games so much easier. I don't have a giant library of CDs sitting around taking up space on my shelf. It's kind of why I like building on games, because it's something I have to maintain space for while I'm building something like this.
And you don't have to. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, you're gonna finish my sentence. Go on, say it.
Oh, it was two things that I love. CDs warp, and you've purchased a game that you no longer own anymore because it doesn't work, and then you also don't have to scrounge for patches.
Yep. And like MS Gamer just wrote, they can break. Digital is never broken.
Yep. Unless Steam were to go defunct.
Yeah. Okay, no email from my test result yet, so 3, 2, yeah. Well, I don't think Valve is going to let that happen. If anything, they'll manage to sell it off to somebody before that happens. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. I don't think they're ever gonna get away from the physical copy market. I think there's always going to be a market for that.
Definitely for books, if nothing else. Games, I could see the physical market disappearing because it's inherently already digital. Its existence is digital.
MS, you're right. Not if you don't have the internet, digital can be a little more daunting, but that's a very different subset. And I mean, the nice thing about Steam is you don't necessarily have to be connected to the internet to play your game. You just need to be connected to the internet to download it. So you could take your computer someplace else, get the game you want, and then play in offline mode.
This sounds like a personal story and issue I had with Steam once upon a time.
Do tell.
So, I'm a massive Fallout fan. If you look in the Pixel Sharks...
It's nothing but Fallout right now.
Yeah. The Pixel Sharks account is full of Cellist Mike playing Fallout games.
Never would have predicted that.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Brian.
So, I was super excited for Fallout New Vegas. I had it pre-ordered. Yeah, I specially bought a really powerful laptop because, I had orders to go to Afghanistan. And I had no reason to believe that where I was going, I would have any kind of functional internet connection, which I really didn't.
I seem to recall this story.
So I was super stoked, super excited. I had it pre-ordered. I was having it shipped to my brother's house so that, when I was in Afghanistan and it came out, he would then turn around and ship it to me because physical copy. My thought was, I can still play even though I don't have an internet connection.
Sure.
I knew that there was functionality with Steam, but I was little prepared for my physical copy requiring, because Valve introduced Steam in the days of Fallout 2. Valve introduced Steam initially as a copyright protection function. In order for you to be able to play your physical copy game, you had to verify.
Even though the world had existed without that restriction forever up to that point.
Yep. So Obsidian, I'm not sure whether it was an Obsidian decision or whether it was a Bethesda decision, but Fallout New Vegas, even though I had the physical copy, required an active Steam connection
to play.
Essentially to install.
Oh. Well, to install. Wow.
Yeah.
They even blocked 6.
So
Yeah.
I was sitting there in Afghanistan, super excited for this new game. I had spent like $1,700 on a badass laptop so I could play it in Afghanistan.
Wait. You
And
mean American companies like to make it difficult for the troops that are defending them to enjoy their things?
Outrageous.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't mind the copy protection effort.
Blasphemy.
Hey, when I was younger and had no money, trust me, I would go to great lengths to get around copy protection.
Everybody did.
Oh,
So I don't mind it, but it was
call
definitely.
yourself a Christian.
Yeah. He's
Oh, touch glitch.
Yeah. Sure. That's exactly who I was talking about.
I don't think I've done anything to violate copyright in a decade and a half.
That was always my argument.
And that was back when it was impossible to get the music that I wanted because I couldn't find it anywhere legally to purchase. Like, come on, people, I want to pay for your stuff.
Always my argument. I was like, listen, if you make it this difficult to find your product, do you really think people are going to just not consume it if they really like it?
This is Tom Merritt's argument. He's like, don't try to legally beat pirates, outcompete them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why Australia still has the highest per capita pirating download in the world.
Because they
Because they don't have access to legal downloads and legal streaming.
much more limited.
Because the telecommunications industry is quite limited, and there are certain monopolies, and getting around that is impossible. They don't, like
Ooh,
I think
another ring done.
a good example was I think season 4 or season 5 of Game of Thrones was only streamed on this cable service called Foxtel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one cable service provider in all of Australia called Foxtel. So in order to be able to watch Game of Thrones on one of their 80 or 90 channels, you had to buy. You essentially had to buy Game of Thrones, the series, for $110 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so people went, all right, fine, F you, I'm going to download it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Here, Comcast, the biggest, the biggest U.S.
The devil incarnate.
Oh, but that was AT&T.
No.
Oh, no. Comcast is the monstrosity nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could argue that Verizon might beat them out, but I don't think so. I think it is absolutely Comcast is the biggest telecom nowadays.
Okay.
Verizon's working on it, but
Yeah, they tried. But so Comcast was in bed with HBO in an agreement that if they had bots tracking connections, and not connections like locations, ISP connections, but transaction patterns. So hey, if a file that looks like this comes across, let us know.
Okay.
And then HBO would, I don't know how this works. I mean, HBO said, hey, Comcast, look for your users downloading this file size, this file shape, this file appearance, and let us know. So then you would get nasty emails. So, you know, I was an HBO subscriber through Comcast, but because Comcast was screwing up, you know, there was a glitch in their system where I was paying for HBO but unable to access it when HBO started. So I went and I downloaded it off, you know, a nameless ARG website.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
no one knows what he's talking about.
And I got a nasty gram, and it was like, if you continue this, we will press charges. I was like, F you. A, how did you find out? B, F you, Comcast. You're the reason I can't access this legally, because I'm paying you to be able to access it. It was just, yeah. But anyway, so even here in the U.S., HBO, up until they introduced their standalone $10 a month package that they offer to U.S. people, regardless of their subscriptions.
Okay.
Up until then, man, HBO was hardcore about going after illegal downloads.
Huh.
This is the thing they don't get. They like spend all their time going after people who just want to watch their content instead of making it easy for them to access it.
Yeah, it's like, I'll bet you as soon as they introduce that $10 a month download, their legal costs.
Oh no, it did. Oh, it did. I remember. I think if it was the Morning Stream or Current Geek where they discussed this. How after HBO Go and Now were released, that the illegal downloads of, although it's still one of the most downloaded things out there.
Oh, yeah.
But how about you, MS Gamer? Where you are, do you have issues like this? Because I'm not sure MS Gamer is located in the U.S. I think he may be South America, maybe. I'm not sure.
But greed
I don't remember from the last time I watched him. Well, this is true.
If the specific details of the story don't apply, there's probably a comparable story.
Probably something comparable. He is
Right
not
now,
U.S. Yeah, so.
It's the #1 broadcast television show and their copyright owners that piss me off. Can you guess?
No.
Big Bang Theory with CBS. I still have yet to watch the entirety of the Big Bang Theory because I haven't been able to get access, legally get access, without buying the entire effing show.
Yeah, Simpsons actually is pretty hard for me to get.
Yeah, so MS Gamer is from south of the border.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
so
south of whose border?
our border.
Okay, so to give context to that, Glitch and I right now live in the U.S. Daniel does not, and Glitch didn't live in the U.S. up until a few months ago.
Yeah, so he's from Mexico. He's from
Daniel's
Mexico.
never lived in the US.
I know.
Daniel.
Yay!
No, didn't you at one point live north of the border?
Yeah, you lived in the U.S. as hat.
Yes.
You lived in the U.S. as hat.
Yes, I
And we're going to end that comparison there.
the 52nd state.
That's okay. I live in Canada's belt right now.
I think Canada was the 51st state. Puerto Rico's the 52nd state. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 twos. So he's actually farther south on the Gulf.
Although ideologically, I would say that Australia is more like the U.S. than Canada. Out of the colonies, I think the two that have the most in common are Australia and the U.S.
Because the United States was founded by convicts as well.
Well, the ones that didn't get caught.
No, they were founded. They were founded by people who weren't wanted elsewhere, convicts and religious people.
Yes.
I was gonna say, villains, the distinction of having been caught or not.
Okay.
Oh, that's not where that needed to go. That's 3, 2. 3, 2, 1. 2 3s, 2 4s, a 5, and an 8.
Whereas Canada was founded by,
The French.
well, I was gonna say,
It was they were French and then they were stolen.
Kingsmen.
Well, not stolen. They were lost.
Oh, that
They,
too.
they were forced to be given up.
Yeah.
And then
Americans
Mexico
don't
was
really
invaded
talk about
by.
it.
If you think about it, the New World was really bad for the French because they ended up losing everything because of conflicts elsewhere.
I'd say the New World was really bad for the indigenous populations.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the indigenous populations are not. If you study the archaeological record, they were the first invaders.
True. In
So
many cases.
if you can say indigenous or you can say first, like the first citizens, like the ones who were here first.
Except for the
Prior populations.
except for the Maori, they weren't the first people to New Zealand. You know the
What's
people that
the-
do. You know the indigenous people of New Zealand. They're called Maori.
Mm-hmm.
They have a haka and all that sort of stuff. They weren't.
Yep.
They're not actually the indigenous people.
No surprise.
They ate the indigenous people.
Oh shit.
It's true.
Wow.
They
That
cannibalized
sounds
the
like.
original indigenous people.
That gives us a whole new twist on the taking over a land and consuming all of its resources.
Oh man, that would be a fantastic series. I think it would be better on a premium channel.
Wow. Wow. I thought you were about to say on a premium menu.
Oh yeah. Well, okay,
And,
so back to the Fallout series. What do you think that? So there was in Fallout. Let's see, was it New Vegas? One of the expansions took you to the El Dorado Casino Hotel, something like that.
Most of the time when I'm watching
Yeah.
people play that game, I'm just completely mesmerized by the fact that they so horribly mess up the geography for that game. Somehow you can see the stratosphere somehow you can see the stratosphere from the Hoover Dam,
Well,
ignoring the fact that
geography
there's a
of
massive
Fallout
mountain
games
range there.
has Always been adjusted in all the Fallout games. The geography was adjusted
It doesn't need to be.
facilitate the storyline.
It doesn't need to be.
No.
They did not need to be able to see the
But-
stratosphere for the sake of the story. They did not need to be able to see the stratosphere to go to the Hoover Dam and do the story that was there, because from my recollection of that was all DLC. So being away from the main story area and not able to see it would have made sense, especially since you could eventually fast travel there. Again, this is based all on my observations. I have not played Fallout New Vegas. I've just watched Dukes play it all the time.
So my only argument to that would be I played.
Which, by the way-
so I never actually played Arena. Well, I played for a brief moment. I never played Elder Scrolls 1 Arena, but I did play Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. So Daggerfall was pretty fantastic in that the in-game geography, if you measure distances, virtual distances by the amount of time it takes to transverse using the in-game walking function, their replication of human walking, the land, the explorable land in Daggerfall was the size of Europe, real world Europe. So that is a more geographically realistic game that Bethesda did, and I promise the gameplay and storyline was more easily graspable and easily consumed in. Well, I mean, New Vegas was an Obsidian production, but Bethesda does the same thing in their others, like Fallout 3 and the Capital Wasteland, and Fallout 4 and the Commonwealth. But, so, a geographically realistic landscape versus the game simple landscape, I struggled with the size of Daggerfall. It was tough. Like, can you
Does it need to be?
imagine trying to find something in Europe,
It's not that hard.
or even, well, yeah, if you have adequate hints and information and transportation capacities, but there's so much stacked in those
Yeah,
games.
but you see, that's the thing. You don't have to have, for a game like Fallout New Vegas, you didn't need to have a massive interconnected play area where everything was connected to the same thing. You could have had separate areas to go off to. So if you went off to the Hoover Dam, you could have had them go through some kind of travel mechanism that allowed the mountains to still be there and have it be its own isolated area for you to go complete content that was there that may be connected to the rest of the story, but not in the way that you needed to be able to see, oh yeah, hey, there's the stratosphere, literally so close that it's like the view of the stratosphere from almost everywhere in that game is about half the distance. Not even half the distance. It's more like a quarter of a distance from where the stratosphere is and all of the mountain ranges. That's how close they put you to the stratosphere in that entire game. And that is horribly inaccurate. That valley is so massive. So they had the ability to make it, even if they kept you inside that valley, if they'd shrunk the size of the stratosphere, they could have made it more realistic, even if they didn't make you travel all that way. Oh, that's you. Let's say, is there a creeper?
And, there's probably you could probably find that argument in the "Hey, Bethesda ruined my game" series type.
I don't think it ruined the game.
Threads.
I don't think it ruined the
What
game.
you just described, like having the travel function, the travel mechanism, be in place for you to visit the geographically distinct locations. That's how Fallout 1 and 2 work. But that's not how Bethesda games are. You know, Bethesda open world games are so. It's a function of Bethesda open world games. Like, that is the style they use. They want you to be able to just run around and explore and find things without having quests and stumble upon these little mini side stories that have nothing to do with your quests. They want to further that exploration and like I was saying, when they did that in Daggerfall 2 and having a geographically large, you know, realistically large area, it puts that discovery capacity in a place that they don't really want, and I don't really want. But that's my personal opinion, that they don't really want. They don't want their discovery function to be so extreme. You know, because that would, if they kept the same level of, there's interesting stuff here and here and here and here and here, but they tried to cover a massive geographic area, even if they used the quick travel function, like, oh yeah, go over to the Hoover Dam, and then you're in the Hoover Dam region, it would either on one hand limit the just random discovery capacity, like you would have to travel somewhere else to discover stuff rather than, oh, I'm on my way to this other place and holy crap, there's stuff here. Or I turned the wrong direction and so now I'm in the Hoover Dam region and there's all this awesome stuff here, like the accidental discovery. So either on one hand you would limit the accidental discovery by having to intentionally go to a region, or on the other hand, you would have
I think you could still get away with having the random discovery thing, even if it involved some kind of travel mechanism that you just happen to randomly discover. There's ways to do that to keep the, and thank you for turning the lights on. There's ways to accomplish exactly what it is you're talking about there without sacrificing scale of place. And I mean, it's not like Vegas is unrecognizable. Most people know how big that valley is.
Again, that was Fallout 1 and 2. You know, when you're fast traveling to a new city, to a new area, you know, you could have a random encounter. So you get stopped in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the wasteland, and have this real random encounter. But the feel of it was, having played them all, to me, was less organic.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, this is a minor quibble. Every time I see that stratosphere, I'm like, there's no way you're that close to the stratosphere.
And it is purely.
I've been that close to the stratosphere, based on, you know, judging the scale of it there. I've been that close to the stratosphere, and you're practically on the strip when you can see it at that distance. Yeah. And that game, they're nowhere near the strip. I mean, at one point they're near an air base. Okay, everybody knows there's a big giant air base there. That giant air base is 30 miles from the stratosphere.
Well, and that's the case since Bethesda took over. That's what they've done. Okay, Bethesda open world games. I shouldn't limit this to Fallout because it just applies to Fallout since
6.
Fallout 3 when Bethesda took over.
Mm-hmm.
But Bethesda open world games since Daggerfall have functionally abbreviated geography, and I can't help but think because Fallout had what you were just describing before they took over, and that they changed it away from that to match their the Elder Scrolls pattern of abbreviated geography.
Say, you were a Bethesda fan before they took over Fallout, I'm guessing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have been a Bethesda fan since Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. That was when I was in like 5th or 6th grade.
So were you excited when they took over Fallout?
I was unfamiliar with the Fallout series before then. I played Fallout 3 and just fell in love. And then after Fallout 3, I went back and played the other Fallout games. The only one that I haven't played is Tactics, but that was generally based off of low, poor reviews from.
You mean you let other people's opinion ruin an experience for you?
Ruin? No. I would say no. So I don't look at like a star rating, other than to point something. Like, okay, so the potential.
This is the advantage to not buying games new, because then when you do buy it, then you do drop like $5 on a game and you end up not liking it. You only wasted $5, and you didn't have to, but you still got the chance to experience it yourself instead of letting everybody else determine it for you.
Well, and even the settlements function in Fallout 4, a lot of hardcore Fallout fans were pissed about the settlements functionality. But to me, while I see that detracts from the up till then nature of the Fallout series, the survival and violence, just that really hardcore dystopian existence. I like the hey, help rebuild the wasteland. There was a very small part of that in Fallout 3. I mean, there was in Fallout 2 with the Garden of Eden creation kit. There's always been this presence in the Fallout series that I think people have kind of just ignored because it was never so predominant as they made in Fallout.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second because I'm curious. Dimmer, what are you doing? Because I know you're not playing with us.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about commenting about how you you buy a game for $5 and you think, well, I've only lost $5. That's exactly what I thought about Don't Starve Together, and Minecraft.
Did I not give you one of the Don't Starve Togethers? Because I bought a 4-pack and gave a bunch of people copies.
Yeah, that's how I got Don't Starve Together. I didn't pay for it.
Well, I'm sorry then.
I'm sorry too.
That's a very interesting experience.
Yes, we were all super tired when we did that.
Oh, you were making food, MS? Good. What are you making? What'd you eat?
Ooh.
Yeah, it is almost 2 for Mike and I. Dimmer is who I was asking, and he is playing Windward. He is in Europe.
Oh, hey, if you're gonna be playing Windward,
yeah,
I can throw up the.
Oh, it's too late.
The server's up.
Yeah, it's too late now. I'm advancing my own personal map.
Let's say, can't you? You can. Yeah, tuna salad is easy, very tasty when it's done right. So you can advance your ship on your own world that you then play in the joint world, right?
Yeah.
So he's just becoming more powerful and leaving me further behind.
Well,
we could switch.
No.
The problem is that I can't complete the torn diagram quests on my own personal game.
No, but you can get all the money.
Oh,
yeah.
I did establish a new coffee village, a zone that has coffee production.
Oh, good.
For those that may not know, we're talking about the game Windward.
It's not a very popular game, but holy crap, it's fun.
It is extremely fun.
It's
not
good for
popular
when you
because
don't
it's
have.
not violent.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? It's not violent?
It's
Well, it's pirates.
simple.
8.
It's a super simple concept.
7, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Pretty good graphics.
1, 2, 3,
Great ambience
3,
music.
3.
And pretty good mechanics too.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very enjoyable game.
Although it's upsetting that it was so difficult difficult to get any multiplayer functionality out of it.
Yeah.
It affects me the least, as I'm the one that has gotten a server successfully running. So if I want to play, I can.
I think that really came down to your US proximity. I'll bet anything that Brian could get a server up and running.
If I wanted to, probably.
Probably.
But at this point, I'm just like let him. We're playing on
Yeah.
his.
But like now that you're physically in the US, I'm pretty sure it's possible.
4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 more layers to go. Does it? To me, Chels, Mike, if you move out away from this thing, it feels like the sides of this thing kind of slope down pretty quickly.
They do. I've noticed that, but also
I don't think it's going to be
in relation to it has a serious impact on perspective.
I know, but I mean, I'm talking when I move farther back out. I mean, the top looks pretty flat, which is not inaccurate. I don't think anyone's going to notice.
No, and this is
It's just-
this is the eyeball.
There's a lot. There's just a lot of layers at this point because they're becoming so compact. But we only have 7 more.
Yeah. Well, and Minecraft
Check my
also
email.
tends to exaggerate the 3D appearance to things. They tend to exaggerate perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that I know for I don't know.
All right. So I got an email. Now I'm just confirming that I'm okay to continue work. Okay. So I need to add 4 to the width or the depth, and I don't know width. Yeah, I was right first time.
So we
And
could switch over to
4 to
Windward,
the
and
depth.
you don't have to be outstripped in levels.
Considering I may be getting off here shortly
Oh, okay.
because I have I have about 3,000 words I have to get written today.
And you're playing games.
No, I had to complete a test first before I could work on this new style of article. So I wasn't actually allowed to continue until I got feedback from the test, and all I've heard back is that the test was received. I needed to email to see if I was clear to continue to actually work on the assignment that was given to me.
Hmm.
I don't see why not, but I'm not starting until I'm told I can.
Ooh, speaking of cleared to start working on an assignment that's given to you. Okay, so Glitch, you were never a contractor. Just to give a little bit of context.
He's a contractor.
Oh, you are?
Just not the kind of contractor that you think of, but he's a contractor.
I'm
Okay, so
self-employed.
So different,
Anyway.
yeah. The difference, variation in meaning.
There's civilian sector, contractors who work for the work, and then there's government
And there's
contractors.
And there's construction contractors.
Yep, that
Yeah.
too.
So in this context, government contract.
Okay.
So I used to work on a fairly large government contract after I left the military, and I was kind of unceremoniously given the boot and never told why. Well, not never. I was unceremoniously given the boot and not told why for a number of years, and it ended up having to do with I've got some pretty severe PTSD.
Yeah.
And it ended up being really an administrative glitch or something along those lines.
Still, legally, they were all wrong. They are not allowed to they are not. No, they are not allowed to discriminate against veterans. No, it is straight written up in
Getting a
there.
little bit off topic, gentlemen.
Yes,
They have been wrong from the beginning about that.
Point of order.
Off topic.
Real quick though, before you get back on topic, MS Gamer, I'm not sure how much longer. I'm thinking we might be able to finish these layers in another good session for the top, but then we have to do the bottom.
Yes.
If
the
you look over there,
sausage
you can
section
see.
is the
Massive.
easiest.
Yes, I'm talking about the bottom of the sausage section. Hey Chris,
Oh.
nice to see you. If you look way over there, you can see Cellist Mike. He's going along and filling in the layers that I'm setting out. So anyway, yeah. So we're not sure how much longer it's going to take, but I think we could probably get the remaining layers laid doan in another maybe hour and a half of playtime, and then we have to start the bottom part, and then we have to build the engine drive.
It'll take another month and a half.
the whole thing, the entire thing, because we don't play every day. So, and hi Chris. So, okay, Charles Mike, go back to your story about how the government, I kill Omega. Go back to telling us how the government wronged you.
Anyway, that really wasn't the point. It was just kind of a little bit of a setup. But it was a comment on the waiting for permission to go back to do the assignment you've been given. So I am now cleared. Well, I've been cleared for about a month and a half. You know this, Glitch. I've been cleared for about a month and a half to go back to work. But now I live in Minnesota, and I made the decision at the end of September that, hey, I am going to move back to Georgia and work, at least temporarily, while, so the CDC discussion. While Amy is waiting on word from the CDC, I'm going to go back and work for the devil.
Yes, you go back and work for the devil. She'll work for a different aspect of the devil.
I'm waiting for a start date right now.
Okay.
65
because he's absolutely bonkers for wanting to move back to Georgia. Separate from working for the devil.
Well, Georgia Tech has one of the best computer engineering programs in the country.
You've said this.
For public schools. Not the best, but I would say like 4 or 5, 4th or 5th. But they're also the ones that I won't have to pay out of pocket for. So there's different motivations. I don't want to live in Georgia. I don't like the culture. I don't like the temperature of the climate.
Too hot?
Oh yeah.
It's nasty there. I mean,
I love it.
It just as Art, my wife, likes to say, it just sucks the will to live out of people.
Yeah. It's awesome.
No, but it's not the dry heat that you're used to.
It's humidity. No, I know exactly what
it's
I'm
horrible.
Used to that living in Australia.
It's like living in a
it's like living in the arm. Like everyone likes to call New Jersey the armpit. It's living in the South is like living in an armpit. It is so dank and muggy and sweaty. It always smells. You never feel clean.
Yeah, you guys haven't been to Thailand.
I've been to Asia. I have been to Asia. I've been to Okinawa. I've been to Korea. It's nasty. I get it. That's just
worse.
It's different.
Yeah. Good.
Georgia is. I would rather live in Korea or Okinawa than Georgia.
Yeah, but because you also mix the culture. There's
that too.
Very set in your ways. Hostility and aggression and hate.
Well, you're gonna get some of that everywhere.
It's climate on a few. Yeah, you can find that anywhere. Anywhere.
I'm gonna say some of the most hateful places I've ever lived are consider themselves to be the most open.
Yeah, it really comes down to individual people. Cultures just reflect the commonalities. How individual expression appears on a large scale. Through commonalities of expression. Yeah, I'm living in Minnesota right now. People are nice as crap, but oh wait, whose cops keep killing people?
Georgians.
No, Minnesota.
Nope.
Oh.
Everybody is freaking nice here. Like, it is a cultural phenomena how nice people are here. And yet
They are as nice in Minnesota as the stereotypical Brit is apologetic.
They're trying to get Canadians.
Again, it's stereotype here, but they are nice as it's a requirement for living up there. You have to be nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's on the Minnesota citizenship test.
That being said, we also, Minnesota has a history of just incredible amounts of racial violence, and in recent history, incredible amounts of police violence.
Oh.
So it's one of those. The same thing as like Brian said that I said Georgia, it's a lot of cultural hate, but like he pointed out, that's everywhere.
Well, I mean they're really polite. in Georgia. I mean, there's a reason why Southern hospitality is a thing, but
Yes, Brian. Please.
it's
Tell us
it's
more.
predicated on how that hospitality was delivered for so many years,
Oh.
And to whom it was not delivered.
Yeah.
and by whom it was delivered
Yeah.
as a requirement. So
So,
anyway,
yeah. But I didn't feel as comfortable culturally. I didn't feel like I fit in culturally in
Chris,
Atlanta, the capital of Georgia, is very different, and I do fit in. I have a nice group of friends in Atlanta.
I have a very large group of friends in Atlanta who most of the rest of Georgia would think are special.
Exactly. Like, I'm special. I'm not like. Anyway.
No, they think they're special in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, that's how I
They
understand.
ride the short bus.
Yep.
Chris is like cultural hate in Georgia. I'm not sure which part of Georgia you've been to. Pick a part. I lived in Valdosta for 7 years of my life, and then I lived in Augusta for 7 years of my life.
Well, there's Georgia, and then there's Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta's a whole different thing. Yes, you were right, Miss Gamer. Good and bad people anywhere. There are some very, very nice people in Georgia.
Oh yeah. Some of my
That's
best
southern.
friends are in Georgia right now.
Heck, a large portion of the people that made Rise a possibility live in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Some of
Didn't-
the most accepting people I've known lived in Georgia for almost 10 years. Well, two of the most accepting people I've known lived in Georgia for 10 years. Some of the most accepting people I know still live in Georgia.
But they aren't native Georgians.
For the most part,
They
you're
went
right.
there. They went there because of a job. Well, that's the thing. I need to qualify what I just said. There are a lot of very nice people that I know in Georgia who've lived there for quite a long time because their job requires them to live there, and they're not actually from Georgia. And welcome to the stream, Joe Star Writer. We are not. This is not a stream that's intentionally meant to be picking on Georgia. Some of us have experience living there, and we were having fun.
Yeah, I am moving back.
Yes, that's what predicated this
Sometime in the next few
conversation.
For Dragon Con. Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, all of this conversation is now moot because the real reason for living in Georgia is Dragon Con.
Exactly. This is why we all go to Georgia for Dragon Con. And Chris, you are absolutely right. Georgia does not hold a monopoly on either being the most hospitable or being the most hateful. There's just
no.
elements of that everywhere. What the heck
They're
keeps
definitely
lighting on
not.
fire down there?
Oh, last time we played, I threw some nether rack down and lit it on fire.
Oh, okay.
Just
Say,
because fire.
just because.
Just because fire.
Alright, where am I on this thing? 1 2 2 1 2. 1 2 2 1 2. I need another 1 2
so you
and
know
then
what
4
I'm
ones.
really enjoying?
Hmm.
Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, yeah. I have not watched this week's episode yet.
I'm not gonna say anything about what it covers. Or
They all die.
Dude, everybody dies.
And
I mean-
I Kill Omega, by the way. I lived in Virginia for 4 years, so I know that one too.
Hey Brian, want to go see a movie on the 15th of December?
I will be seeing a movie in December. It's probably it'll be the first movie since I took Zoe to see Minions, or not Minions, Despicable Me 3. And it'll be the first time since Wonder Woman that all three of us will be in the theater.
Yeah, the wife and I will be back from our cruise on the 12th, so that gives me a couple of days to get over the jet lag and then go see a movie.
I will definitely be catching it. I don't know if I'll be catching it in Germany, but I will be catching that movie.
That's no excuse.
For anybody that doesn't know, there's there's a movie with, I think it's episode 8, I think, coming out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably worth catching.
The trailer yesterday suggests it is.
Oh, there's a new trailer.
Okay,
I should watch
so
it
I
with
saw-
the girls.
Yeah, they showed it at halftime for
Yeah.
somebody's game.
Yeah, they like to do that.
So American sports and I don't get along, so I wasn't watching.
You know what? Live American sports and me don't get along. So I
Yeah, well,
never
that's-
I never
yeah,
see their
that's what it is.
commercials.
It's because it's the money part. I love playing sports, even American football.
Daniel, we'll forgive you for that statement.
Oh, for having to clarify that it's American? Because
Yes.
football is a given that it's American?
Well, also, I think he's more of a rugby fan than he is an American football fan.
Because Americans don't understand you can throw yourself at somebody else without having to wear padding. It's
Yeah,
called
but
rugby.
oh, I was gonna say, yeah, but in the U.S., while we condone violence, we don't condone sexual activities.
That is not where he was going with that.
I know, but it was funnier that way.
Yeah. It's because you guys are still prudes.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Is there a new? Chris, is there a new Ready Player One trailer? I don't know. I've seen the first one. The first one was very it was all about references. There was nothing in that told any kind of what the story was like. Like
there's
this
a trailer that came out yesterday.
first Ready Player One.
Oh no. Sorry, I thought we were still talking about
1, 2, 3, 2.
Oh,
1, 2. I mean,
sorry,
1,
and
2,
this
3,
is
4.
back to the Star Wars.
6
I'm gonna
tubes.
play anchor here. Keep the conversation from moving. I heard a rumor
Uh-oh.
that the director is suggesting people don't watch the trailer.
Ryan Johnson?
I don't know who the director is.
Ryan Johnson is the director, and often you have to understand directors don't have any say in what is thrown into the trailer, so you can accidentally, if you are really digging into it or know the story, well, you can dig out spoilers if you're watching trailers, because the trailers are designed by marketing people, not directors.
So that could be a very legitimate rumor.
Yes, he could
I'm not gonna.
he could genuinely be saying that just because he knows that the more dedicated fans could end up being spoiled. Rogue One is not 100% skippable.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the dedicated fans have no lives, and their lives revolve around a movie that's completely fictional.
Well, dedicated fans are going to go see it if they're spoiled or not. Rogue One is not a bad movie. Rogue One is not necessary for understanding the series. However, it does rather cutely, if I can use that word, it does rather cutely poke fun at one of the greatest arguments, geek arguments in Star Wars lore, and that's not who shot first. Why did they build a massive space station like that with such a glaring weakness, which initially was a plot hole. It was there to fit. It was there to fit the purpose. He wanted that ending, and Rogue One came back and said, "You know what? Let's have fun with that." And I've been laughing at the geek arguments ever since.
Yeah.
So it was a fun little Ocean's 11, Dirty Dozen kind of movie.
Yeah.
Did I get a response yet? Nope. Clearly they're not that worried about me getting this assignment done.
And then in other sci-fi fantasy news, when the heck is that freaking Rise-Off going to finish his next book? Gosh.
About the same time as J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah. I heard that he's actually done with it, but that he has some sort of agreement with his producer to not release.
Which is crap. Crap on a stick. They need the people who own the rights to that, George R.R. Martin and the publisher, need to tell HBO, you are going to shove it, because the people who bought the books and were reading the books for years are the ones that made it possible for HBO to have that. And then to sit here and turn around and tell, because HBO wants to sit on stuff. Hi, Fluffy, welcome to the stream. To tell the readers to wait so HBO can make the max amount of money off of their thing that's not going to be done for another year and a half is garbage.
Oh, but I'm sure they're getting a nice kickback. Because money runs America.
I know.
Money runs the world.
George R. Martin is greedy. That's all he cares about is making money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Eating.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if anybody was under any illusions that George R. Martin was doing the whole Game of Thrones things because he wanted to make something better that he'd already made better for his fans, they should just shove it, because George R. R. Martin cares about one thing, and that's making money, which is why he writes the stories the way he does. What the?
And you will not
Hold
find
on,
spoilers.
Fluffy. Hold on,
If you're the type
Fluffy.
of person who is,
No.
hey, I'm not
Sorry.
watching the show, I'm only reading the books, don't worry, you will not get spoilers on our channels.
Sorry,
At least
guys.
not the Pixel Sharks or Guthron channel.
I need to fix the Ankh-bot thing. It's bad. Yeah, I'll ban everybody here just to make everybody feel. Just to make everybody feel there. Now I Kill Omega's been banned also. Instafluff typed something in full quotes and full capitalizations, and Ankh-bot went bonkers. And when I tried to unban him, MS Gamer typed something, and so I accidentally clicked it on him and banned him. So everyone's unbanned now.
Where are you doing this streaming thing from?
Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be watching it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we're not going to share any spoilers, by the way, but yeah, George R. R. Martin doesn't care about the readers. He cares about making money. He's never cared about the readers. He's always cared about making money. This is why he intentionally will build a character up and then kill him, just because he loves torturing you. He is a sadist at heart.
We will be kind to all you young, sweet summer children.
Summer children. That's one way to describe them. I agree, Chris, but the stories aren't necessarily. It's for one thing, they're not really that imaginative. He's just retelling the War of Roses. Now, granted, he's doing it in an intriguing setting. I'll give him that. His dialogue is top notch. I will give the man his credit. He knows where to. He knows how to write dialogue. I regularly pick up books and his books again, just every now and then, to read through large sections of dialogue, just so I can keep myself fresh on the right way to do it. Welcome to the chat, Pixel Sharks.
Thanks.
So, but I find when I read it, I find myself just skipping entire parts that aren't dialogue because he doesn't do that well. But dialogue, the guy's a master of. All right, one more check. Have I got my email yet?
Well, the entire plot line, even if he's ripping off the War of Roses, dude, it has got me entranced. That might make me a simpleton, but yeah, whatever.
All right, so I'm going to finish the ring that I'm on, and then I'll need to start my writing. The show, no, it did not. MS Gamer, you did not get banned because you said something. You got banned on accident because I was trying to unban Instafluff for his accurate description of George R. R. Martin as super greedy.
It was a mistake initially based off of an overzealous bot.
The bot is the true criminal here. Next to George R. R. Martin.
Not George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, next to George R. R. Martin. 3, 2, 4 ones and a 2 the other direction. One, 2, 3, 4, and then a 2. So, Fluff, by the way, we did a shout out for you earlier. Good job on topping your personal best of this weekend on your Tomb Raider run.
Yes. What was it, 2 hours and change?
251, I think, is what he came in, and his previous was 256. I think was the original, like his previous best. So, congratulations, Fluffy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Too far. 3, 4. Yeah. How did we get back to George R. R. Martin?
You were detracting from my teasing you, because I said, hey, when is that Rise author gonna put out his next book? Sheesh.
Yeah, that's not how we got to George R. R. Martin, but sure, you go ahead and tell yourself that.
Then Daniel was like, George R. R. Martin.
He's a sellout. He won't release his next book as his producers, or he's got some sort of
Star Wars.
cash
We
deal.
were talking about Star Wars. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, the trailer. Don't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
According to the director. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What are you guys building?
2, 1.
Rumor. I saw these things on Facebook.
What did you say, Dimmer?
What are you building?
We're building the Enterprise.
The Enterprise.
Seriously.
This 1996. What the? What are you? Why are you? My bot is crazy now.
Is bot deleting crap?
It's
Because I see 2 message deleted things.
yeah. He shared a link here. Let me do that for you.
Links are auto banned.
Yeah, I need to. That's not what I'm supposed to be copying. Stupid thing.
Yep, 96 Trek.
There we go. That's what Fluffy
NCC
posted.
17.
And he shared a clip. So he's trying to get less than 2 hours and 45. That's what Fluffy posted. There you go. So yeah, we're building the Enterprise D, but I'm not really sure what Chris is referring to with 96 TR. Maybe he can explain.
Yeah, because 86.
Oh yeah, he is. I think it's the Rise of the Tomb Raider game.
Oh, Tomb Raider TR Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Rise of the TR. I think is the one he's playing.
So much newer.
Yeah, much newer. It's the one that leads into if I was listening to him on Sunday say this is the one that leads into the game. I mean the movie, the game. Duh. No, the movie. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. Which stars the actress from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I loved that movie. I thought she was a good character and she played a great character. So.
Mr. Worf fire on that dragon.
Yes.
Enterprise D.
Because I figured we would talk about Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. May I post a link? And what do I need to do to make it function?
You should be fine posting a link in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Pixel Shark? No, it's Pixel Sharks did it also. Here, so I'll do it. That's what we're building.
Yeah. So we will be doing eventually probably a 1-for-1 or a 2-to-1 ratio build, but for now this is just kind of eyeballing based off of those schematics.
And how many of you are building this?
Ankh is drunk. Really, just anybody who wants to?
You have to get in touch with me to get access to the realm.
Oh gosh, no, I'd never
1, 2,
even
3.
consider that.
Yeah, well, we know how you feel about Minecraft.
But yes, Mike, the title is an homage to the best, the #1 rated, moment in TNG history, and our inevitable, blasting of George R.R. Martin that tends to happen on these streams.
Why is it inevitable that we'll blast George R.R. Martin here?
Because I'm here.
I was blasting you.
Yeah, because I'm here. And I still don't recall you blasting me.
Yeah, I was... Oh, I'm sorry you missed that then. Yeah, I was like, sheesh, when is that Rise author gonna get his next book out?
Hey, you have an issue with that, you need to talk to the publisher.
I'm almost finished reading it.
Well, that's good. You might...
Next book or Rise?
I started reading it about 6 months ago.
Dude, Audible. Well, okay, do you in general struggle to sit down and read books anymore? I know that we already had a discussion, you're not an Audible type. But I found I was able to really start consuming books again by using Audible.
Well, and
I'm reading 5 books at a time.
Oh, jeez.
I can also I can recommend the Audible one because I had nothing to do with it and it's really good.
And ever since I met you guys, I play Steam and I sit on Discord and play games, and it takes away from my book reading time. So
hey, when you're sitting there playing by yourself, that's a great time to listen to a book.
Well, as we're doing this, I think everybody, Fluffy, I can't see the list of who's in.
Chris, Fluff, MS Gamer, and there's Joe Starwriter, and then somebody that dirty rat-based turd is here, but I don't. He hasn't been speaking.
Oh,
He's major lurking.
Yeah, well, he was here when we were
Yeah,
playing. Woodward.
he likes to lurk. We let him
Yeah, lurking is great. I mean, you lurk in my games all the time.
all the time.
Yeah, so let me do a pitch out. Please go to tiny.cc/pixelsharks, no underscore. Unlike the Pixel Sharks name, we're playing as part of a gaming marathon
What?
team for Extra Life, and we're trying
Stupid.
to raise. So the
Oh, no,
whole
this is it.
freaking reason we're streaming, and we've been streaming, and we have.
That's the
This
one.
channel has no public videos.
That's me.
Yeah, the reason why we're streaming, the reason why we're together as a team online playing games, chatting, is to raise money for
And that's the team.
kids struggling to get healthcare. Because hey, for those of you that don't live in the U.S., our healthcare system, while it's phenomenal in what it's capable of doing, doesn't exactly help the people that
Can't afford it.
help themselves. And in this case, we're talking about children, so kids that can't afford to get the help that they need.
Which at one point included my niece.
Yep. Children's Miracle Network helps direct funds to the kids that need them. There's hospitals around the U.S. that participate in the program. Lots of hospitals that don't. But this is our way of doing it. Essentially, it's a gaming marathon that happens this year, the 4th of November. But we try to play and raise funds.
Somebody's making a lot of noise. Are they done over there? Okay, so as he was saying, that's how we raise money. If this gives you an idea, the hospital that provided care for my niece and my sister spent over $1 million on these 5 months of care that they total together what it ended up costing, and the insurance covered maybe a third of that. So the hospital ended up, because it was a particular hospital that did that, the state of Alaska and the hospital covered the rest because there was no way they were going to be able to. So
yeah, throughout the U.S. there's various programs similar to this. St. Jude's is really big with cancer, children cancer patients. In Salt Lake, there's a children's hospital called. Well, no, there's a hospital called LDS Hospital, but that's not specifically a children's hospital. Whereas Primary Care Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is what I usually raise funds for, because a lot of my family their kids have gotten treatment that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten by way of Children's Miracle Network funds going through primary care in Children's Hospital in Salt Lake. So, yeah, I mean it's for the kids. I mean,
well, that's literally their hashtag
yeah.
on Twitter. That's literally their hashtag for the kids. And this year, I'm supporting the UNM hospital because a friend of the family's son is fighting leukemia. That would be Liam, is his name. And while he had some good news and counts recently, I mean, there's always a chance for things to go the other direction quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, Extra Life, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek in its play on, because it's a gaming thing, the earning extra lives, but there's also the incredibly sad reality to the name, in that all of the efforts are trying to
Thank you, Fluffy.
let kids have a little bit of extra life that wouldn't have it otherwise, and that's incredibly sad. Like, I'm gonna start freaking crying here.
The story of how Extra Life came about is one of those one of those stories that you can watch the video on the Extra Life website. It's heartbreaking. It's a story of a cheerleader who was like the light of her cheerleading team, the light of her family, the light of her world, and then suddenly she just started losing energy, and it turned out that she had cancer. Shush. Sorry, my wife's cat is back here. Give me a second. I'm gonna go kick him out.
Oh my gosh, I want so badly. The Daenerys Targaryen Facebook profile put out a meme.
He's
today.
complaining over his toilet.
That was a cat.
That was a cat. That's Jordy.
Daenerys Targaryen put out a meme that Jordy just reminded me of, and I'm not gonna say it because spoilery, very, very spoilery. If you don't watch the shows, it is spoilery as crap. It has something from season 6, which does not exist in the books. So if you've watched the shows and you won't get the spoiler, go to the Daenerys Targaryen Facebook page and look for the Hodor cat meme. Freaking awesome. But I'm not going to say it because spoilers.
Spoilers. Anyway, so that the girl who started this whole thing, when she was in the hospital the first time, she didn't feel as sick as the other kids there, and so she made a point of going around to all their rooms and playing with them and basically bringing some light into their days. And she recovered from the first round, then ended up there, told again that she had the same cancer back, and she went in, and she was a little weaker that time, but she still tried to visit all the kids and make their lives better. And eventually she went in for a third one, and on the third one she didn't come back. She died. So her name is Victoria, and she's the inspiration for the Extra Life charity, because she always brought games and fun to the kids.
Yeah. And the stories that come out of the woodwork when you start talking to people about the program, it's just phenomenal. Like the reach and the need and this, I don't know, it's this mixed hope with sadness. It's like, the thoughts and prayers, but when there's programs that give more function to that, and not everybody is able to give. And by all means, we don't expect people that are struggling to make ends meet themselves. We don't expect you to give to something like this. It's sometimes thoughts and prayers are all that are available to give. But this is an opportunity. Oh, so yeah, if you don't have the money but you have a little bit of time, freaking go
join
to the
in.
website and join the team.
The number one way that this fundraiser makes raise this funds is from participants, not donations, because generally everybody that participates has one or two people that are guaranteed to help out. So 50,000 players raising a couple hundred each is a lot more effective than 1,000 players raising 10,000 each. There's not going to be 1,000 players that raise 10,000 each. I mean, I've only raised 600, and I'm like in the top 1% fundraising, so it tells you there's not that many that are above that, but there's a lot of people that participate to the tune of millions and millions and millions every year. Last year I think they topped 8 million.
Yeah.
I know they're at 32 million lifetime.
At the end of the year, what is it, like the 1st or 2nd of January they came out, and I thought we had broken 8 million at that point.
Yep. Alright, so there's a good overall shot of that. That thing is really starting to look like a saucer. So I'm going to have to go do some writing. Chris, I need to stream some retro games on my channel, linking to the donation site just when I get home after work. I'm tired, just don't... See, this is what overlays are for. You just start streaming and the overlay has the information.
Say good night.
Well, what was that?
I have to go to bed and get up in 6 hours to go to work.
Yep.
So,
I need to get to work. Dimmer, you get yourself some rest.
it's a gym day.
Maybe we'll be on with Dimmer on this weekend doing some Windward.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
And if you want to, just post in the collaboration channel in WhatsApp if you want to play on Windward, and I'll throw the server.
Okay.
All right.
Or of course you can play on your own.
So good night, Dimmer. Everybody
night.
else, I'm gonna go do some writing. Got 3,000 words to write in a new genre, a new field that I haven't done before. So gonna be doing that. Zoe and I will likely be on tonight for father-daughter fun. We may start her treehouse in Minecraft. We may play some Lego. We're not sure. Thanks, Fluff. It is really looking so good.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Just chatting.
The Dirty Rat, Chris, Joe Star Rider, Fluffy, and MS Gamer. Thanks again. And everybody be sure to go check out... Oh, by the way, I didn't do one for him. Let me do... that MS
Zelda.
Gamer is going to be playing some Zelda later. I think he's working his way through Wind Waker, and his is multilingual, bilingual. He does his in English and Spanish.
Oh, cool.
So Zoe's been enjoying watching that and watching a game that she enjoys, and then hearing it in Spanish, so she gets a little practice with the new language she's trying to learn. So, oh, hey, look, there's Golgoth. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this for now. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you later.
Oh. 228. Damn. We were going for a while.